YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the above. And so we just do a little bit of talk about project cars, my business, used cars, and we have a lot of fun.
That's for sure. Dude, it's so cool. Like I've been following a little bit now for a while, and it's the stuff you do is interesting. Well, and we're going to talk about Igor here in a little bit, but I want everybody to understand this dude's got a Yugo, like for the channel. It's so awesome. So, all right, a little bit of housekeeping stuff here to start us off with. Everybody that is in the chat needs to go sub to LS Chevy Rider 254 on YouTube. His goal is 10,000. It's 10K by Christmas Day. Tons of LS stuff, turbo LSs, donks, box top Chevys, all that kind of stuff. Super good channel. But another reason that hit me in the brain there was because you're also on your way to 10,000.
Yeah, I'm pretty close. I think I'm in the 9,300 range there now, so like 600 and change to go. And I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. How long have you been pushing? Like, how long have you been consistent on YouTube?
I started in January of 2018, and I pretty well right out of the gate started doing a couple of videos a week, which led into a pretty hefty schedule of like 3 videos a week.
Oh, and man.
I just found it to be a little bit too much, too time consuming. And I dropped it back to 2, and right now I'm barely doing 1. So with this whole garage build, the business, everything, keeping things pretty busy.
Well, what's funny though is I think everybody kind of goes through that, obviously, but you go from like 3 a week of just posting content. Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna throw this video together as fast as I can and get it out. But like once you get overwhelmed, and then you're like, I'm gonna do less videos. They become better videos. So you may spend the same time editing and stuff, but they're a better quality video.
Yeah, and at some point I realized that it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. And I started focusing more on, better production, better whatever it is I'm working on, better camera angles, maybe a little bit of trickery, maybe a little bit of slow-mos or different stuff like that just worked into the editing that really made what I felt the videos a little more people want to watch, maybe. I don't know.
Yep.
Anyways, it seemed to work because the views started going up, and even though I was doing less videos, the better quality, I think, paid off.
That's right. So Grant Tommy's coming on in a little bit with Str8sixfan for his YouTube channel. He'll be on a little bit. He's actually working. It's one of his first work trips out of town. So all these questions I'd kind of stacked so like you guys could answer them as we move through the process. I will tell everybody we'll probably circle back to some of the good ones for Grant once he pops in, which may be 30 minutes. It may be an hour. It may not happen. Who knows? I don't know. Hopefully they're working hard and enjoying it. But you guys, the reason you are both on here at the same time is because I've been on your live feed. So obviously you had to come over here. I had to kind of beg and plead you to do that a little bit because I didn't have to beg. You guys were like, yes, let's do it. But you guys host a weekly live feed that runs 16 weeks. Is that right?
That's 18 weeks, and we take roughly 8 weeks off. So it works out so that we can have some time off at Christmas as well as early spring, and we break it up. We call them seasons so that we can do 18 episodes or 18 shows, take a little break, and then start a new season. So we've been doing that for 3 years. Just this time last week, we were doing our season 6 season finale.
Yep. Yeah. And it was awesome. I actually, I think the episode before that, I won 2 awards. So we're now award-winning YouTube channel.
That's right. And that's something that's pretty neat to be able to do. It's not always about, promoting yourself in the sense that, come over to my channel and watch. Now you've got a caveat. You can call yourself something to say, oh, I'm award-winning. So come over and find out why I'm award-winning. They might come over and be disappointed. They might come over and be flattered. They might have some fun. Who knows?
Yeah. Hey, We know if they come over here, they're having fun. And if they're not having fun, I don't care because I'm having fun. I want to call out CP the Tool Addict. He was on last night for our Quick 16. That leads right into the next thing. So Quick 16 is a 16-minute, 16-question rapid fire setup that I'm doing. One, because I love talking to people. But then two, it is going to help us introduce so many more people to our followers, to all of our fans, and let you, a lot of these folks, I think they're probably going to see them anyways. But CP was on last night, and then Turlo's Garage is down here in the comments. He is on tomorrow night, so I will actually be live 4 times this week. That's the most I've been ever. I think it's pretty wild. And then Justin Chestnut popping in here saying what's up. This dude and I are doing Sick Week in Florida in February in a 29 Model A with a blown small block Chevrolet. Going to be so much fun. I'm excited. I'm flying in. I'm co-piloting. It's going to be absolutely crazy.
Sounds like a good time.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. Patina Pit Stop here saying he has garage envy of you.
Yeah, I just posted an update video. It went live there probably about an hour and a half ago, and we got the roof on.
Nice.
Well, about 90% of it anyway. So it's really starting to come together, and getting really, really close to getting that thing tied in.
Turlo's Garage, he wins the comment section right here for sure. He says, "You're a 2 Live crew." That's awesome. And then John Wilburn here saying, "What's this all about, dude?" We're talking car stuff, man. Car stuff. I hope you're ready. Okay, another little housekeeping thing. If folks have been on my channel for a while, we have mainly always just posted, horizontal, typical YouTube videos. I'm ready to give the Narcs card away. To do that, I need views, right? To get to 1 million views, we got to have views in any way we can. So I'm posting shorts like crazy. I'm going to coin the phrase #DropYourShorts because that's what I'm doing. I'm ready to give the car away. I'm going to fix it for whoever wins it, but it's time to go. And we can typically on YouTube Shorts see anywhere from 500 to 2,000 video views per video. And if we're trying to track or we're trying to chase some views so we can give that car away, you got to go where the views are, man.
Yeah, it's probably a great segue into talking about that one more time. We talked about it last week on the show as kind of a tips or tricks as far as growing your channels. Mm-hmm. And I posted a short yesterday of a customer states, and I woke up this morning, it had like 5,800 views. Yep. That is such an awesome, quick way if you do it. And people will draw. You don't know if they're going to work. You don't know if they're going to draw in 100 views or 10,000.
Yep.
Do them because it's a quick way to draw attention to your channel.
Well, and here's the thing: you're probably already making videos for TikTok, anyways. Just repurpose those for a little bit. The struggle I think you would have if you're adding audio to the TikTok stuff is like you're going to get so many ineligible videos on YouTube that YouTube's may slap your hand. I don't know. I don't know what the struggle would be from there.
The thing that I like to do is I like to record the video outside of whatever format you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And then put it into the social media. So if it's for TikTok, TikTok gets its music. If it's for YouTube, you don't have to put music. Or you can use YouTube's music, whatever they're allowing you to use.
Yep, that's what we've been doing. We got Colt Beck popping in here saying Happy Vets Day. Bad Tree Production saying TikTok, yuck. And then Gearhead Tour, these dudes, they actually came to visit me. We did a drag and drive event last year in April. They came and hung out. Awesome guys. Okay, let's get to it, dude. You ready?
Absolutely. Bring it on.
So here's my write-up for Olde Carr Guy. Follows the struggles with cars like a Yugo, selling used cars, and the struggles with his install on the FiTech kit on the squarebody C10, which I think you have sorted now. I watched a video the other day, popped in, you were gone.
Yep. Almost got it sorted.
Oh, dang it. It's always something, man.
It's a self-inflicted problem I'm still dealing with. So anyways.
Gotcha. All right, well, dude, let's get to it. Let's what has been your favorite project car you've had so far?
Favorite project car probably has to be Dale the truck, simply because of the time frame and the quality of vehicle I started with, and what I've been able to do to it. So it's great that I'm fortunate enough to have a little bit of a disposable income to do cars like this, and I don't drive anything brand new. So being able to work on something from start to finish, I bought that truck in November of 2019. Boom, it's a driver every day, no matter what I'm doing to it. So.
And the fuel injection will only help with that. Now, you're in Canada.
Yes.
So will that truck get parked for the winter? Do you guys salt the roads real bad up there? Is that kind of how that works? I don't know.
Yeah, where we are, they salt the roads fairly heavily. We live on the coast, so because we live near water, the ocean, you get that freeze thaw several times a season, so you're constantly getting the ice. So yeah, as soon as the snow flies, Dale gets parked, and I'll start driving Blackjack.
So, dude, how did a square body truck with the thinnest sheet metal in history survive up there? Where did you find that truck?
Well, the story behind that truck is it was originally a Springfield, Missouri built truck sold in New Mexico to a Army fella who traveled everywhere for his stationing, and ended up in Albany, New York, probably about 12 years ago.
Gotcha.
That fella sold it to the guy I bought it from, had it for 4 or 5 years. I've had it for 2 years now. So it hasn't seen a lot of harsh winters. So
that's awesome.
The dry climate down south is what kept it.
That's cool, man. And like, I would think being as north as you are up that way, like that's kind of a cool story. It came from, the western side of the states. That's a big trip in that truck.
Yeah, it is, and I'm not sure exactly how it got there, but nevertheless, I traveled to upstate New York 2 years ago when I bought it and drove it home.
That's awesome. We got Bad Tree Productions here asking, how did you come up with the name Dale the truck?
So Dale the truck came up. Of course, every time I get a project vehicle, I like to give it a name, just like everybody does, and I put it out to my viewers to find a name for it, because it's a Scottsdale edition truck. It was either Scotty or Dale or something along those lines. Anyways, Dale was the name that kind of come out of that, and we've just kind of coined the phrase Dale the truck.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that makes sense. So let's back way up. I don't know how old you are, but I can tell by your rocking beard that were you a car guy when you were 11? Was that that wasn't a long time ago, but I don't want to put you on the spot here with age stuff.
Oh, okay. So let me see. Was I a car guy back in 1986? Yes, I was. I'm not going to give my age, but you guys can do the math. I absolutely was. I always had Tonkas and Dinky toys and Hot Wheels, Matchbox, all that stuff. Even the cheap ones you bought that you didn't know what brand they were. Like, I had everything. My room was postered with Lamborghini and Samantha Fox and all these different things. So yeah, I was a car kid at a very
That's
early
awesome.
age.
That's awesome. Gary says he's never named a vehicle. Dude, come on, man. You got to name vehicle. They have to have a name because it brings so much. Like for us, we name everything. Doesn't matter. Customer projects, we're naming it. Just because I feel like from a branding standpoint for us, it helps. There's so many times we pull up to a show and I'll be in the NARCS cart and somebody will be like, hey, we're Stanley, And so we call it the old truck because that's what it's always been, was the old truck. But everybody that knows that truck knows it as Stanley. So you got to name stuff, man. You got to name stuff. And then Justin here is talking about his C10, calling it the Beast. It's a big block blown C10 truck. Freaking amazing. It's actually been at the house once, and I've got a couple of videos on it. So we talked about your day job. You obviously own a dealership.
Yes.
I sold cars for a long, long time. How many? I mean, like what's the dealership size? Like, do you want to go into some of that? I mean, like, I don't want to go too deep, but
No, I got nothing to hide. I mean, right now, of course, we're in pretty trying times with the used car market, with the way things are going. But on average, we would normally have 20, 25, 30 cars on the lot.
Yeah.
We presently have 8. just due to the availability in the market. There's no new cars available. People aren't trading in their used ones. So, but yeah, we've been doing it for 13 years. We just celebrated our 13th anniversary in business. We've got a brand new shop that we built back in 2013.
Nice.
Four bay garage, 2 licensed technicians, and myself. We used to have a cleanup guy, and we used to have a salesman too. But again, last spring when the world ended, so to speak, we lost a really good sales guy, and we also Junior, my son, was working for us full time, doing the detailing, which he was really good at. But now we're just kind of trying to take on that stuff ourselves because things are a little quieter.
Well, and I would think 8 cars on the lot, you end up selling 10 or 12, 15 a month, and it's a constant rotation, which is great because you always have new stuff. But then it also becomes a struggle as far as paying everybody and making sure everybody earns a living and stays busy, dude. That's the struggle we ran into. I had a dealership of my own in 2008, and I know the struggle, man. Like, it's hard. You get 10 or 12 cars and you're like twiddling your thumbs about 10 hours, 12 hours a week. You're trying to find something to do. So that's cool. It's a lot different industry now than when I quit 8 years ago. So
yeah, it sure is. It sure is. And like we had our very best season in 2018. That was our best year ever, followed by 2019, which at the time was our worst. And then last year was our worst. And then this past year was our worst. So it's slowly going downhill. And somebody asked me the other day, what do you see in the future? And I said that if we have another year like we did last year, we're going to have to find something different to do.
YouTube, man. YouTube, guys, go sub to him right now. We need some YouTube money. Hey, man, that's the way it works, dude. I hear you. There was a lot of my buddies that are still in the business, and they're at new car dealerships with 8 new cars. Can you imagine that? Like, how do you? That'd be pretty brutal.
Well, and like my dad's 70 years old, so he's ready for retirement. He's having fun doing what he's doing, but there's no fun in trying to do what you have to do to keep a business afloat. So, we've also crossed the idea of, if the borders ever open, which they did this past Monday, that we could start traveling into the U.S. again, and maybe we start finding project vehicles for people.
Oh yeah,
right. Go in and see if you can find yourself an old Chevy truck, an old shoebox Ford, Tri-5 Chevys, whatever you want to find. Doesn't matter what condition they are, as long as they're good enough, solid to be project vehicles. Bring them back and sell them that way. And you're not selling to people walking off the street. You're advertising yourself online. So
100%. That's awesome. Okay, let's get back to fun stuff. So you obviously have kids. You said Junior a while ago. Any other kids?
No, just the one that I know of. Yep.
Yeah, and is he as big of a car? That's awesome. For anybody watching, if you had the one night stand with Jason, like, don't reach out. How about is he a car guy?
Absolutely. Yeah, he's walking right in his father's shoes, just like I did with my father. So he's just as much of a hot rod guy as I am. He's kind of more into the modern tuner type cars right now. And that's kind of his, I don't know, I guess his cakewalk. He likes the older stuff. He loves driving my truck and my car. I do let him drive it once in a while. And he's actually thinking about buying himself a Panther platform. So
nice. Hey, look, Panther stuff, that's the way to go.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, 2-valve mod motor stuff, man, just horsepower, baby.
That's right.
That's awesome. So do you want to tell everybody about Blackjack? Because it's
absolutely.
it's awesome.
Yeah, so Blackjack is my 03 Grand Marquis that I lifted 3 inches and put 31-inch tires on it for a total of a 5-inch lift. And I'm working on a collaboration with another YouTuber or a couple of YouTubers. Everything is Broken Garage out of Newfoundland on doing a diesel transplant into Blackjack. And so that's going to be something that'll be happening in the new year. Well, probably later, earlier in the spring. But it is something that we're going to have fun with. And not many of them have been done. So I'm hoping to kind of jump on the on the unique bandwagon for views, and hopefully that if we could tag it, title it, and thumbnail it properly, that it'll be something that brings a lot of new people to the channel.
Yeah, and how big of a lift is on that car?
It's just a 3-inch suspension lift. Yeah,
that's awesome. I think that's what we're going to do. Gary says no turbo kit.
Well, that comes with a diesel, right?
Yeah, you got to have turbo diesel. Like, I don't even think they make NA diesels. Would you call it naturally aspirated diesel? God, can you imagine how shitty of a driver that would make? I mean, I know Mercedes did that 300 for a long time with no turbo, and those things live forever, But
in fact, that's what we're putting into it. Is
nice.
It's an OM 606 or 605. I can't remember which one it is, but it is a turbo diesel 6-cylinder. And from what I understand and what research I've been doing, they tell you that those are the 2JZ of Cummins, or not of Cummins, sorry, of diesels. So we're hoping that we can make some horsepower with that thing, have some fun.
That's awesome. Just keep pouring fuel to it. It'll either take it or it won't.
Well, again, stock internals are capable of 600 horsepower on a stock P pump.
Man, that's awesome. That's crazy power for stock, fueling anyways, like stock internals. Yeah. That's cool. And it's an inline setup, so that they usually live a little longer than that. So, all right. So what do you daily drive then if you have a dealership?
Well, in the summertime, it's Dale the truck. I don't generally take anything off the lot. And in the wintertime, I usually do find myself a beater. But last year it was blackjack. This year again, it'll be blackjack as my daily.
That's cool. I mean, I can't think of a better daily than a Panther platform setup. So you got Dale, and you've got the blackjack. Any other project cars you got?
Oh God, yes. So the first big project I think that came to the channel that I started doing any work, the amount of work to, was my 79 Chrysler Cordoba. So if you guys don't know what those are, it was kind of the last of the B-body Chryslers. So B-bodies are Chargers, Road Runners, stuff like that. And in 79, that was the last, kind of the end of them. I've had this car since 1995. It was kind of my first hot rod car that I ever had. And I ended up rebuilding it in 07 with a new engine, new transmission. It's all pretty well, looks stock, but it's a good, clean car. And so that's one that's been part of the channel and part of my life longer than I've been married. So we've got that. And we don't have it. It's funny because we don't really have a name for that vehicle. It's something that we've always just classified as the Mopar. For 25 years, we've just called it the Mopar. And everybody in town knows what the Mopar is. So then we bought Grandma, which is my 04 Grand Marquis. Again, pretty much stock, but we've just dressed it up to make it look good, make it look nice and sporty. Mm-hmm. My wife daily drives that now, and it's just something that I can't get her out of. So she's happy to drive it, and I've lost it. So
nice.
And most recently, there's the Yugo. So it was a vehicle that came about. I wasn't even looking for it, but nevertheless, it just kind of fell into my lap. I bought it, and we've got it running and driving now. And again, we're planning on doing an engine swap with a turbo on that at some point too.
Nice. What engine are you going to put in the Yugo? Like a Honda setup or what?
I've been on the lookout for a Toyota Yaris or Echo.
Yeah.
So the what do they call that? The
I don't know.
1ZN or ZF or whatever they call it. Anyways, they're good little 1.5s. They can take a little bit of boost, and so that's kind of the plan. Even in stock form, they're like 110 horsepower or 112 horsepower. So that's automatically doubling the horsepower that's in the car now at 57. So I think even if you went naturally aspirated, you could still have a lot of fun with that. But I want to buy the whole car because I want to take all the suspension components and transfer them over and make it so that I can have everything that I need, possibly even ABS brakes.
What? That'd be cool to try and
traction control. And
yeah, I was gonna say that the ABS probably handles the traction control side of stuff, like by applying the brake pressure from that way. So that'd be cool. Yeah. I'd love to talk that. I want to call out the CAR Car Guys, Coastal Auto Reaction, for dropping the super chat. Appreciate that. They can't stick around. They're out hunting. Dude, shoot something for us, man. Come on, big elk up there. They're Canadian as well, right?
Yep, they're on the West Coast. They're over on Vancouver Island.
Oh, nice. So it's daylight over there still, probably, or it's getting real close to not being daylight. So I want to say thanks to them. I appreciate that. All the money that's donated, I'm piling it up in under my mattress, and that's what we're going to use for Sick Week, which is the drag and drive event in February in Florida. So thanks to those guys. Thanks to CP the Tool Addict for dropping money earlier as well. All right, where were we at? We were talking cars. Obviously, project cars. The ABS. Sorry, because that really intrigues me. Because it's funny. A lot of people like the LS swap stuff is a big deal, and a lot of folks are scared of it because they think, oh my gosh, all these wires. But what's funny is like it's really nothing crazy, and especially if you're going to move a lot of the suspension pieces from the Yaris, let's say. You move it over, well, everything is already there. All the sensors are there, which is all that it reads anyways.
Right.
So I would think that'd be pretty easy to wire in. It's because the car is going to think it's in a Yaris. It's not.
Well, exactly. So like ask yourself, what is the main reason why people LS swap anything? It's decent stock power, reliability, and parts you can buy at any GM dealer or off the shelf at a parts store. That's kind of the route that I'd like to go with the Yaris, is because, or with the Yugo, with the Yaris transplant, is because those cars were known to be the worst car ever. They aren't very reliable. There's a lot of guys out there though that know them inside and out and can daily drive them and have no issues. But I want to make this car something that if I wanted to take it to an autocross and layer out, I can do that. If I want to take it on a trip, 500 miles, no problem at all. So I want to make sure that no matter what the source of fun I'm looking to have, I can hop in it and go. And I think, having all the modern amenities, like it doesn't even have power steering right now. So I would love to be able to, have that power steering capability as part of doing what we're doing. So, and a common bolt pattern. That's the big thing right now. It's got 4x98 right now. And,
there's no wheels for that. Yeah.
Not really. No.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. I like that. I like that thought process. That's really neat. I'd like to be, I'll definitely pick your brain about that. I'm sure these folks don't care about you swapping a 410 horsepower 4-cylinder into a Yugo. But if you guys are enjoying this conversation, hit the like button, dang it, and share it. Just share it. Take 2 seconds and hit the share button and share it wherever you're at. Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Let people know we're over here talking. All right. You talked earlier, but it was right in the beginning. So tell people channel name and then where all they can find you, where all your stuff is.
Yeah, so it's a pretty easy name. It's Olde Carr Guy. You can find me anywhere, basically over on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, obviously YouTube. The only thing that's different about it is just the way it's spelled. So I try to go by OCG to make it easy, but it's Old with an E, Car with 2 R's. Olde Carr Guy. That's
awesome. Novitaz is asking where Grant is. Grant is working. He'll be in later as soon as he can break away from eating dinner and drinking beers with his coworkers. I don't know if he's drinking beers, but that's what I'd be doing. And then Justin Chestnut's asking how you like the FiTech.
I like the FiTech. Granted, I did have an issue with it. Had to send it back. One of the things I did find, although it sucks, no matter how much you like something, if something fails and you got to send it back, it puts a sour taste in your mouth. But they're very good to deal with. I was on the phone with them a couple of different times trying to figure things out that I didn't know, and they're very helpful. So their tech support is great, and as long as the machine keeps running the way it is right now. And with the knowledge that I've learned from their tech support with certain tuning aspects of it, I mean, that thing works as better now than it ever did. And so far, I'm getting probably about 2.5 more miles per gallon out of it, just based on some of the tuning aspects that I've had.
That's cool. And is that truck a 350 700 R4 setup?
It is, yes.
That's cool. Roy Marco's Garage saying he's popping in to support. Appreciate that. They said the beards have it tonight. That's right. I had almost debated on doing No Shave November, but man, I couldn't make myself. That's a commitment to have a beard like that, dude.
Yeah, and of course, last November, you guys have all seen the video if you're part of my channel, where I shaved it off and I went babyface for all of about 30 seconds and let it start growing out immediately. So never again.
That's right. Bad Tree Productions is asking, you ever make it to the drag strip? And then what's your fastest car in the stable?
So the closest drag strip to me is over 3 hours away. So it's not like it's just a convenient thing to jump over to the drag strip and have fun. So I don't know.
Communism up there or something.
Right. Yeah, no. And there are tracks around. And the idea is that I've never had any of my vehicles to the drag strip, so I don't know which one's the fastest. But at some point in the spring, because I am going to be installing the Holley Sniper on my Cordoba, I'm going to kind of pit Dale the truck and the Cordoba against each other in a kind of a race. Junior's going to help me out with that. And we're going to compare the two as far as install goes, and then have some fun with both of them to see which one actually is the fastest.
Yeah. Well, if he's watching this, hey, cut the tree on your dad. You got to get out ahead of him.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I don't know about you guys, but Mexico is like very close to here. So I mean, we could hit Mexico.
Anytime.
Anytime. Yeah.
That's right. Vino Rat Rod Builds here says, just watched your shop update video. Good for you. Right on.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, and then Bad Tree saying, buy a draggy. Dude, listen, if you're street racing, it don't matter. All you got to do is win. It don't care what time is. Novatest says he shaved his beard, shaved mine in beard solidarity.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, man, I don't know. My kids loved it when I had a big beard, but I just the neck part is what gets me. I can't, you got to sleep different, all that kind of stuff. So, all right, let's get back to it here. Sorry. So let's get into YouTube a little bit, because obviously that's how I know you guys. When did you start recording again? You said it earlier, but
January of 18.
That's right. And you were three times a week. But here's a better question. I should have asked this first. Why did you start recording?
Well, I think it's just a similar story to what everybody else has. And right now, I mean, I'm doing all these stupid projects anyway. Why not get it on camera? But when I first started my YouTube channel, it wasn't about my project vehicles. It was more about my business. And I thought, what a better way to promote my business than have it on YouTube and have people see things. I saw that.
Sorry, I'm behind.
Then have, being able to promote my business through a YouTube channel, show people the ins and outs of a used car dealership. Yep. Well, a couple of things that the reason why that didn't work was, one, I didn't know much about YouTube. So I wasn't able to draw in a crowd. And once I got going and finally found the niche that people wanted to watch, they didn't want to see anything about the business. They just wanted to see the project vehicles, stuff like that. So
Twitter's the only place that people care about building in public. That's the only place they care about that. And so, yes, that is probably one of the, for creators, that's probably one of the best reasons to start recording and is the documentation of stuff. Because like you can go back 10 years from now and watch these videos. We'll laugh at them at how shitty they are whenever we go back and look, because who knows what technology will be like. If you're not recording in 70K in 5 years, there's something wrong with you. You know what I mean? All right. So let's see. What should people expect from your channel? And you kind of answered this a little bit earlier too.
I don't know. I don't want to say it, I'm not funny, but it's a family-friendly channel. So everything that we do over there is clean. Anybody can watch it. I'm not going to be talking funny. I'm not going to be making a fool of myself. I'm just going to be doing me. Although my cousin Igor pops in once in a while. If you guys don't know who Igor is, then go check him out on my channel. And we just have a little bit of fun. So once in a while, you got to liven things up, and Igor was a way to do it on that particular instance. So.
That's awesome. Well, hey, I don't know what Coastal Auto Reaction is talking about here, but he's saying headed out. Bad Tree, keep an eye out for a new automotive show featuring Canadian car guys. And he spelled it with a capital CAR. So, dude, you can't drop us and then roll like that. Like, you can't drop that little bit of info and then leave. So we'll be watching his channel. Everybody go watch their channel and try and figure out what they're talking about. Roy Marco here saying Igor needs to make a comeback.
Yep. Yeah, everybody tells me Igor needs to make a comeback.
That's awesome. So you won a lookalike contest with Roy Marco, right? Like you were the Roy Marco lookalike, is that right?
Oh no, it's the other way around, man.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
See, we were the ones hosting the show. And
he looks like you. That's right.
Yeah, and that's always been the joke. People call us brothers, and the funny thing is he's got a brother. I think he said it's an older brother named Jason.
Oh, I mean, coincidence?
But
I don't think so. That's awesome. All right, back to it. How has being an automotive YouTuber changed your life? Like, what do you do differently than normal people?
As far as being an automotive YouTuber, I don't want to say that's changed my life. Being a YouTuber, period, changes things because you're always thinking about, what can I grab? What footage? I've always got my phone on me.
Yep.
I've got GoPros. I've got microphones and stuff like that. You're always thinking about what, could this be part of the next content? So your mind is always racing. You're always thinking of ideas that might be unique enough to grow your channel or to draw new people in. And then when you are a YouTuber, you network. So like pretty much everybody that's in your chat tonight, I've had some sort of connection with at some point in time. They watch my channel or I watch theirs or vice versa, whatever. And so the networking ability allows you to get in contact with people to do things you may have never done.
Yeah. Isn't that so cool? And that's what I love too, is like the reach. Everybody that's in the chat, tell us where you're from, like just state or part of your state, because it's crazy when you look back and think like, I mean, there's a ton of friends that are in here that I talk to often that I will never meet in life, as far as like in person and shake their hand,
Well, and that's just it. Like I can go through the list right now, and I can tell you where most of these guys are from. So Roy Marco is in Alberta. The car guys are in British Columbia. Novataz is in Pennsylvania. Bad Tree, I think those guys are up Minnesota way somewhere. Maybe are they? I don't know where they're from. Dakotas. Maybe they can tell me. But nevertheless, like I said, everybody that's there, we've had some sort of communication or something along the way. That no matter where we go, whether it's my channel over on your live stream or vice versa, these people come out and they're a part of the community. Yep. Iowa, there they are. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a great community, and I think that if more of the if when you're a smaller channel you continue on to be part of that network. No matter what size you get, that's great. There's just too many guys that are part of the small YouTube automotive community that when their channel blows up, they're gone. It's like they leave that community and never to return. And, no matter what size I get, my goal is to always try and be a part of this community.
Right. And then Bad Tree had a good question. He said, how many channels are you subscribed to? So I popped over and looked, and I'm subscribed, I think, to like 580 something, 583.
Yeah, I'm subscribed to quite a few channels. In the early days, I used to watch, everything that came out. And today I'm lucky if I get to watch, half a dozen videos a week. I do try. And the YouTube algorithm helps me because sometimes it recommends somebody that I haven't seen in a long time. So I'll take a pop over and watch a video once in a while too. So I don't know what the number is of the people that I'm subbed to. I'd have to go look it up.
That's awesome. I'm trying to make sure, like, all I'm seeing is comments from YouTube. So I want to make sure I'm not missing somebody on Facebook as well. Dragpack Merc said he's from the exotic Salem Springs, Arkansas, which is funny. I don't recognize the name, so I'm going to have to do some digging and figure out who that is and why we're so close. And maybe I'll recognize him when we do some collaborations.
Yeah, there you go. That's the thing. Like when you're in the States, no matter where you are in the States, you're not too far from people, right?
Yeah.
Where I am on the east coast of Canada, it's a small automotive community. So like the people that you're close to are half a day's drive away.
Yeah, that's crazy. John Wilburn's asking, says, when will the sub count make being part of the community implausible? And then I think Novitas probably answers this. He says you can't watch everyone and still produce your own content.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if you guys watch the live stream that Grant and I do, we've had some big name guests on there, and they'll tell you the same thing. Exactly what Novitas just said. It's hard to produce your own content and watch everybody else's at the same time.
Yep.
Right. So what you can do, you don't necessarily have to watch everybody's content to support them. Sometimes it's a matter of, if you're having a conversation, to say, oh, well, Novitas has this car, or Gary Mathis has this car, or Bad Tree has this car. Go check them out because they might be able to help you out with something. And that's part of supporting that community, right?
Yep. Yeah. And I was thinking about this earlier because I was commenting on a bunch of D Brooks stuff because he's going to be on for a quick 16 next week. And so I was trying to get caught up on his content. And so I was like, I wish that I wish YouTube was more, not forum or Facebook or social media friendly, but I wish you could kind of post some pictures in the comments and things like that, because I think it would really draw out a lot more. You'd have a lot more interaction, because and we can talk about this for a second because it's always interesting to me. Is like somebody posts a video, people are making comments, and like the video original poster never comments or replies or likes or anything.
Yeah. One thing that I try to do is I do try and respond to every comment, and I do realize at some point that that's just impractical and unable to keep up. But so I do that, but I also make sure that if somebody does say something, I'll say, or makes a comment or wants to have a chat, not to do it in the comments on a YouTube video because that's just, again, impractical. So head over to Facebook Messenger. Through my Olde Carr Guy page, or go to Instagram. Both of those are easy. I'm easy to get a hold of on either one of those, and that's one of the ways to make sure that people can still have that communication with you. We are just people, no matter the size of the channel that you are or not. Yeah. And there's some big channels out there that will take 5 minutes to stop and have a chat with you, and there's some that won't give you the time of day.
That's right. That's right. Nico, what's up, bud? He said he's in the shop doing the third trans fluid change on the bullet hole Honda. If you guys haven't listened to that story, you've got to watch. It's Nico and Jonathan Stonecipher and Red Hat Scotty on a previous live feed. I think it's episode 68. It's hilarious. Like this, it's awesome. You'll have to go watch it. I don't want to spend a ton of time on it, but the car's been stolen. The car was in a gunfight between two dudes at a 7-Eleven. Like it's a $400 Honda Accord. So you can only imagine got bullets down in the door. All this kind of stuff. So Novitas says it gets hard sometimes when the comments blow up to reply to everyone, and that's true. We don't have that problem. Nobody ever comments on our stuff, but all you famous guys, y'all have comments. I can't imagine trying to keep up with a video that suddenly blows up and there's 60 or 70 comments on a video.
Yeah, it would be nice to be able to do that. Just again, it's that personal touch to being a part of the people who follow you and support you. But at some point, it is difficult to keep up.
Yep. So Watch JR Go has been on the channel before, and he's got 200 and something thousand subs, probably more now. I don't know, 300,000. And he said that he'll try and be in the comments for the first hour or two after that. He's like, but then it just goes crazy, and you can't keep up. So John Wilburn is asking if you have a couple channels, Do you what are a few channels that you do watch regularly?
I do watch Nick's Garage. He puts out a video every Monday. And believe it or not, there's a couple of there's one called Victory Outdoor Services. Fellow from where's he from? Minnesota, I believe. He's got a concrete business. I find him a very wholesome channel to watch. There's another guy, a couple of guys who do construction. I watch their channels. I used to be big on Cletus McFarlane, not saying that I'm not, and that I'm not a fan of his. But again, it's just one of those things where I just can't watch everything.
Yep.
In fact, I went so long without watching a Cletus McFarlane video that I didn't realize that he had bought that Blazer. I didn't realize he had bought the SRT 10 pickup or whatever it was, and that he had gone and put the big blown motor in the Elko. So I step away for a while and I come back, and
Yep.
he was in the middle of the World Finals there. I watched a few of those videos this past week. So yeah, it's and again, yeah, just like Novatest says, there's a few channels that I do rotate through, and I try and make sure, obviously Coastal Auto Reaction is a huge supporter of my channel as well. So I try and catch everything that he does. Grant, Str8sixfan, same thing. We got that deal together with the live show, so we support each other there as well.
Yeah. I was just thinking about what Novataz was saying, and it's crazy. So I'll intentionally not watch somebody's channel for like 2 or 3 weeks or a month if they post weekly, and then I'll just binge whatever that build process is. One car that I say all the time, and I'd love to have him on the channel, but Tim Allen is building like a 30s sedan that's electric, and they've posted a weekly video update every week for 3 years. And so I'll not watch for 3 months, and then just literally every video I'll watch will be that video for 10 or 12 videos in a row.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you've got the time, like for me, like today, obviously it's Veterans Day for you guys, we call it Remembrance Day here in Canada. It's a time to reflect. So unfortunately, we did reflect, but we spent most of the day also working on the garage. Normally it would be a day to sit and relax and catch up on a few YouTube channels, just like you said, to go through, binge watch something. And then I'll usually have some on if I'm out in the shop working anyway. Just kind of listening to them in the background.
Yep. Just having some. Roy Marco's saying, "What are your thoughts on memberships?" I'm working on something right now that is along those lines. But what's your thoughts on YouTube memberships, Patreon? Support. PayPal links in the comment section.
Yeah, I think there's a time and a place for memberships, and I mean, obviously, it's a revenue stream for a YouTube creator. At my point in time, is it great that I can create videos and get an ad revenue from that on a monthly basis? It is. It sure is. And would it be awesome if I had enough ad revenue that I wouldn't have to work a regular job and that I could do this? Sure, it would be. But it's not necessarily an aspiration to do that. And even when we do live streams like this, receiving a super chat here and there, that's great. And that's one of the reasons why Grant and I will give not necessarily awards, but give back to our people who watch our show, because we take that money, but it's people's hard-earned money, and it's kind enough of them to give them to us. Thank you. But if I really wanted to turn YouTube into an ad or into a revenue stream, then yes, you can focus on memberships, you could focus on Patreon, you could focus on merch, as well as sponsorship deals. There's all kinds of room to make money. You look at all these channels that are unmonetized because of the content they have, right? Big channels, Demolition Ranch, because he's using guns. A lot of his stuff is unmonetized.
Yeah.
So he's got sponsorship deals. He's got people giving him stuff. He's got, memberships, and he's got a huge merch store that he does for other YouTube channels as well. So there's ways around it. There's ways to make money as YouTube as a platform without
Mm-hmm.
YouTube maybe even paying you too. So there's
Yeah.
I think there's a time and a place for it. For me, there's no time, there's no place for memberships right now.
Yeah. The what's crazy is, so I look at membership because there's a lot of guys that do memberships on YouTube, and we post across so many different platforms. And my biggest thing is like, if you follow us on Facebook and on Instagram, you'll rarely see the same picture across the two platforms. Mainly because I'm like, if somebody's going to follow me on both spots, I don't want them to. Like, what's the point in following me on Instagram if you're going to see the same thing I posted on Facebook? So a lot of times we intentionally post completely different stuff. Now, will those rotations be like, you'll see the same pictures at both places, but they're not going to be in the same rotation of scheduling and things like that.
Yeah, and I look at that a little bit differently, just simply because you may have different followers that follow you on Facebook who don't do Instagram, and vice versa. So when I post to Instagram, I automatically have it sent to my Facebook page, and you are getting, unfortunately, like you said, you don't want to have the same content or the same pictures being posted. But I mean, I have it that way because it's simpler. I'm very minimalistic when it comes to doing posts and stuff like that, and it's hard to keep up with posting on 3 or 4 different platforms all
That's
the time.
for sure. So I've bought a stand that has both the GoPro and the phone mount on it. And so then, you're walking around the whole time at the shootout. I walked around with my phone doing short videos and my GoPro running a full video. So it's
you got to find a balance for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right. Sorry. Back to stuff here. I've got some questions peppered in here for Grant, but you kind of told us earlier, I wanted him to talk a little bit about the LowFaremont. And you kind of told us a little bit of the backstory on Dale the truck, but a little more like, is it all stock? Like it's stock 350, stock 700R, stock suspension, or have you done some lowering and things like that?
Yeah. So when I bought Dale the truck, it was 100% stock. Had the original suspension, had the original 350, and the original 700R4. I appreciate that, Vino. Thank you so much. So the suspension has been lowered. It's a complete Beltec system, front and rear. The engine is a 350. It's not the original 350, and I did build it so that it's got a little more power to it. It's got the double hump heads, so it should be able to produce up to 300 horsepower, which is probably where I think it might be running at the crank. So you're probably looking at maybe 2 1/4 at the rear wheels. The 700R4 is literally a junkyard 700R4 that we tore apart. It was written right on the case that it was NFG, and my dad's a transmission mechanic, has been.
Does that mean no freaking good?
No freaking good. So, Dad, being a transmission mechanic for 35 years, tore it apart and couldn't find anything wrong with it. We put it back together, and it's been running fine ever since. So there are a couple of things that we want to tweak on it. That 1-2 shift is way too quick. Like you pull out onto the road, you're not even crossing the yellow line yet, and it's in second gear. So there's a couple of little things that we can tweak on there. But I wanted the 700R4 for the overdrive, so I can optimize that fuel economy on the highway if you're cruising with it. But you've also got a well geared 1, 2, 3 in those trucks too. So you can still have a little bit of performance with it. It is a factory AC truck. I still have the AC hooked up, and other than that, it's pretty much mostly original paint. I did have to do rockers and cab corners on it, and I painted the tailgate. So other than that, it's all original paint.
Morsky saying gets 18 miles a gallon, 10 on the highway, and 8 in town.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. The whole reason you put an overdrive in anything is because you want to drive 70 miles an hour, not 60 miles an hour. I mean, like 100%. And then Morsky said, and then you murdered Bambi with it.
That I murdered Bambi with it. Yeah. Yeah. The overdrive if you're purposely building a vehicle for cruising, you want overdrive, right? And that's what I bought this truck for. Is I wanted to be able to take it anywhere and go and not have to pass everything but a gas station. So, and again, on top of it, with the FiTech adding fuel injection, it was kind of the same idea. I wanted to optimize the economy and efficiency of that truck to get where I wanted to go. I wanted to be able to have a little bit more throttle response, a little bit more power, a little bit more fuel economy, all in one package, right?
Yeah. Well, and one of the biggest reasons to do fuel injection, especially where you live, is that it's 35 degrees in the mornings. It's a crazy amount of humidity, and you go out a carburetor, unless you're starting that thing every day and it's generally parked in the garage, it's a bitch to start compared to what we're used to starting now. You know what I mean?
There's people that will argue that too. There's people that will argue that too. You know, if you got a fine-tuned carburetor that's set up perfectly, you know, you can reach in there, hit the choke, and it starts right off. That's fine. But for me, I can put it. You know, I can start it right up, and once it's got oil pressure, I can get in it and go.
Yep.
I don't know if there's a carburetor out there that you can do that with.
No,
right?
I don't.
It's because it still needs to warm up.
Yeah. So Bad Tree's asking, what kind of ETs would you want to run if you did something like Drag Week or the Canadian version, Miles of Mayhem, which Roy Guido did a couple months ago. He was on the podcast live feed just a few episodes ago.
Yeah. So before I answer that, Everything is Broken Garage, the guy that I'm going to be collabing with on the diesel engine for Blackjack, him and I have been talking about something similar to that for East Coast Canada.
Yes.
And doing it'd be about 1,200 kilometers. So it's about an 800-mile, four different drag strips that you could hit in a 1 week time period.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's something that we'd love to see. Probably a couple of years out because we're just obviously just talking about it, but it'd be nice to be able to put something together.
That'd be awesome.
I don't know. I really wouldn't even know what to expect out of that truck. You know, I don't know if it's a 12-second truck or a 17-second truck. I have no clue. So before I could answer that, I'd almost want to be able to get it somewhere with some accurate timing and be able to figure out, okay, well, where's my baseline? And where do I want to go?
That's awesome.
I could just simply pull a Ricky Bobby and say I want to go fast.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to go fast, but listen, drag and drive events, that's what people got to understand. You see all these crazy stuff running eights all week. Drag and drive stuff is about living. It's about getting through the week. Like the first one or two, just make it through the week. That's all you got to do. And then you can turn up whatever you're driving.
Well, and that's just it. You know, if you're driving something that's capable of 8 seconds and you're doing a drag and drive, do you want it to do 8 seconds all day long and then drive it 250 miles down the highway? No, you want it. No. You want to be a consistent, in that particular case, you might want to be a consistent 9.5 second, 10-second car that you can still drive 250 miles to the next track.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, it's wild. Like a lot of those guys, you know, Cletus and James run, you know, they run power glides and they're running 70 miles an hour on the highway. Like, I mean, they don't care. You know, it's awesome to watch that. But I'm like, I can't imagine. But in a power glide to run the mile per hour out the back they do in those cars, I mean, it's probably got like a 3.0 gear in it. So, you know, it's probably going to run 2,500, 2,800 RPM at that kind of speed anyways.
Well, if you look at when they do that Rocky Mountain Race Week, and they're taking Leroy out. If you ever catch a glimpse of the Holly, whatever it's called, dash that he's got on that car, and look at the RPM when he's cruising down the highway, like those numbers are up there.
Yeah.
Right. Like he's going down the highway. Maybe he's doing 65. I don't know. But the RPMs are spinning up at like 3,600 RPM.
Yeah.
You know,
and like it's hard to drive at that speed. John Wilburn, I'd like to talk to you about this a little bit. Dude, I'm 5 hours from West Tennessee, so I'd like to definitely hit some of that event. We've got, you know, the cart would be fun for that trip, especially for summertime. And then obviously the old truck, I need to go, you know, there's a lot of street racing that goes on in West Tennessee. So.
Yeah, and my big plan was to be able to take Dale the truck down to Atlanta to some of the C10 events. and hit a few guys up down that way that I know who are YouTubers and be able to take the truck. So yeah, you want to be able to drive the truck there.
Yeah.
Get decent fuel economy, have it reliable. And I think I've got to put a few more miles on it now to make sure it's reliable before I can commit to any sort of a long range trip.
Right. Just change Atlanta to say Dallas, and then you just pick up Grant on your way through, and then I'll just creep right in behind Dale the truck in the old truck, and we'll have fun.
Yeah, there you go.
John is saying it'll be announced formally by New Year's Day. So, I mean, definitely keep me updated. I'm going to go follow John's channel here momentarily, and so I can keep that up. Bad Tree says party is going to be lit. That's what's up. Okay, cool. I like it. All right, Roy. Thanks, dude. See you, man. All right, let's back to questions. Sorry, we've been all over the place. So we talked about future plan that kind of gives a rundown of that. How about what's your dream car, dude? What would you build if money wasn't an option? Or buy? What would you build or buy? Because I would buy my dream car. I wouldn't build it.
Yeah, I think I would be right there with you. When I saw you, that was one of the questions in the email you sent out to us. I still have a hard time right now, putting my finger on it because the hot rodder type guy in me says I want to go fast. The reliability guy in me says, I want fuel economy and comfort. It's really hard to put my finger on it. And I think if I had to pick one, it would probably be a Challenger. But at what capacity of a Challenger, modern Challenger? Maybe a Hellcat, Red Eye, something along those lines, just to have fun with. I think if I was going to put my finger on it, yeah.
Yeah, just something, dude. Those cars are made to just beat the crap out of. Like, that's what they're built for, and that's what's so much fun.
And I just wish that I mean, no diss against Chrysler or Dodge or like that, but I just wish that those Hemis were a little bit more bulletproof than what they are. They do have a few oiling issues, but other than that, I think to be able just to hop in one, like it's been 10 or 12 years ago now, my wife and I rented a Challenger. Granted, it was just the V6 model when we were on vacation in Florida. And that's where I fell in love with it. This was back in 2009. So they were relatively new on the market. And we rented one, all kinds of room. I'm 6'2", 6'3". I can hop in that thing, get comfortable, have no problem. And I think if you had one with lots of power, fun, a stick, away you go.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Bad Tree, flipping back to YouTube a little bit. Bad Tree asks, "What's your dream sub count?"
Right now, I'm trying to hit that 10K goal by the end of the year. It's looking like it'll happen. Where it goes from there, I'll be blessed to see it get any higher than that. Really, I just think that it's a fun gig at this point. I'm getting a couple of extra dollars a month for doing what I'm doing. And I'm happy doing that.
Yeah. Gary here says Hellcat swap the Cordoba. I mean, let's just say, like, I agree, it'd be epic content, but dude, that'd be such a fun car. Because that car probably is not very heavy, really.
Well, it is. It's 3,800 pounds.
Dude, I guarantee a Hellcat weighs 800 pounds more than that.
Well, I think if you put a Hellcat in it, the weight don't matter at that point.
Right? Hey, listen, burnouts and ice cream, baby. That's what it's all about. That's right. Drag Pack Merc, if you want to go to West Tennessee, let's go, bud. I'm ready. Let's convoy this thing down there. Let's have some fun. What's everybody else talking about? Yep. John Wilbur's saying it's for the YouTube community. There's been a couple of YouTuber call outs in the past, and they look like a ton of fun. I haven't attended a single one. He's saying, Hellcat Cordoba would be awesome. 4,600-pound car. Yeah. I would think he's probably talking about the Hellcat. And at that point, he may be talking about the Cordoba too.
Yeah, with the Hellcat.
Yep. One thing that I will probably be adding to the Quick 16 is a good question. What is a part you've broken repeatedly on a car?
Oh, I wouldn't say broken, but it seems like every vehicle that I ever touch, own, smell, whatever I have, I put an alternator in it. Seriously,
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what it is. I haven't put one in the Yugo yet, but knock on wood, I'm guaranteed it's probably going to happen sometime soon.
Yeah, the minute you do the Toyota swap, it's happening.
Yeah, right. So like Dale, the truck has had one. Grandma's had one. The Cordobas had one. Even our own shop truck, the one that we use for our business, the Ford F-150. I've had an alternator in it. Like bad alternators seem to follow me. I don't know.
That's awesome. He's also asking here, what's your worst car crash? With driving as many as you do, I would think that's going to be you've ruined some bumpers for sure.
Well, you know what? Surprisingly, no. I've never been in a major wreck. When Junior was first born, he was less than a year old. I was selling new cars at the time, so this was back in 2000. And I was driving. My demo was a Sonoma, GMC Sonoma extended cab.
Nice, yeah.
So my wife and I are in the front. Junior's in the back, and like I said, he's only 6 or 7 months old. And this kid pulls out of the gas station, right sideways in his little Ford Exploder, and he overcorrects. And when he overcorrects, he cuts across the highway.
Oh,
but I, luckily enough, I got over in the shoulder, and he just clipped the bumper of that brand new truck. That's probably the worst crash that I've ever been in, besides hitting Bambi with a deer, which coincidentally happened about 400 yards from where this accident happened. But yeah, I've never, again, I should knock on wood, because I've never been in a serious or major car accident ever.
That's great, man. Let's talk car sales for a minute, because like I'm kind of trying to stall a little bit, see if Grant's going to pop in. Maybe if he's listening, we'll get a comment here if he's going to be able to make it. But what all brands have you sold, as far as like when you sold new cars and things like that?
So new cars was only at the one time at the local GM garage. So that was back when GM was everything. So it was. We were a full line dealer. So it was Pontiac, Buick.
Who's that?
That's George.
Nice.
Pontiac, Buick, GMC, Cadillac. Oldsmobile, like all that, Saturn, all that stuff. We were there. So we were selling quite a bit of stuff. Make yourself at home, Cap. But since then, it's been used cars. So we sell just basically pretty much anything we can get our hands on, but we also will sell what's popular. So, I've done a segment before on Chevy Cruises. They're a popular selling car. They do have their issues, but people love them. So we sell them like hotcakes.
Man, for a daily, for a while, I looked at Cruises just to have some, but you know what I ended up with? A 93 Tercel.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah. Super high quality. Man, everybody in my office drives nice late model stuff. Here I come wheeling in, driver door broken. I climb out the passenger side. They're like, dude, you're the car guy. I'm like, I know. I got to put leaf springs on the old truck. The daily Trailblazer that everybody's seen me bitch about lately, about GM engineers, I still got to fix it. And then the cart, it's still broke from race week. So,
Well, and that's just it. Like I said earlier, I don't drive new vehicles. Everywhere we go, and like everybody in my wife's family pretty well drives new vehicles. And, my family is pretty much the same idea. And when you pull up, you just look for the oldest car in the parking lot at a family function.
That's yours.
It's usually me. Oh, dude. I see what Jason's driving this time of year.
Yep. What's so funny, and I've tried to explain this to my wife in the beginning, was like, I literally, for years, I sold cars 15 years. And so like the only time I had a designated demo was when I sold new Pontiac, Cadillac, GM, like what you had. And we had Pontiac Grand Dams, and you could pick any Pontiac Grand Dam you wanted, but every time else, we always drove used cars as demos. And so literally I would drive something that was kind of cool because it would swap. Like people would sell it quick, So There was like, I think one time, like 14 days in a row, I was in something different every night because somebody would sell something,
Yeah. And like for us over here at the car dealership, like I don't generally drive anything off the dealership, because in Canada, or at least here in New Brunswick, if you have a designated demonstrator, It's classified as taxable income.
Oh, dang. Yeah. So
Right?
it's just always something. Yep.
It's you got to pay for it, just like you're making a car payment sometimes. So
Gotcha.
neither my dad nor myself really drive anything off the lot. So that's why I drive my own junk. I mean, cars.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Bad Tree Productions, thank you for the comments tonight, dude. I really appreciate you coming in and all the questions you asked, all the comments you made. It made a big night. So I appreciate that a bunch. John Wilburn asked if you saw a Kia Soul at auction, but had to be seen in it before selling it, would you still buy it?
Absolutely. You know what? I love a Kia Soul. I really do.
Yeah, they're great cars, man.
They are, and they're a popular seller for us.
Yep.
And the very first time he's asking a funny question, and I'm being serious because I like these cars. But for such a short wheelbase car, they drive very, very well. They're not choppy. They're comfortable. I like a Kia Soul. I would even drive a lime green one like Novataz if I had to.
Yeah, there you go. And then Novataz says, look for the lifted car that's not supposed to be lifted.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. He also says, Novataz says he has 2 Kia Souls with almost 200,000 miles. And Sophocletus, that dude's got a dealership too, says, he buys Kia Souls all the time. So,
yep.
They're a great rig. All right. Well, dude, do you want to jump in? Let's do the last 5, the fast 5, and then we can see where we're at from here.
Sure,
right.
Sounds good.
Fastest you've ever driven?
Oh, I don't know because I buried the needle on my Cordoba and I don't know where it stops. So it was at least 120.
There you go. And you coasted and it came back real slow and then finally hit 85. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. When you are wrenching, are you a WD-40 or PB Blaster kind of guy?
Actually, neither. We've got a great product from a local supplier called Lefty Lucy.
What?
Yeah.
That's got to be, I got to write that down. That's got to be the best name for a bolt breaker looser stuff ever.
Yeah. So I use that quite consistently, and that's it's a really good product.
That's awesome. Novataz says he's been 137 miles an hour. I've been 150s on a motorcycle. And then driving had probably been, probably mid 130s, something like that. We were indicated 165 on in Mexico one time in a Viper. That video is on. I think it was 2019 opening day, so February 2019. Look for that. We had just crossed the border, and we were running against a pro-charged SS Camaro. We were mid 160s, both of us on the smooth, flat roads in Mexico. Are you a gloves or bare hands kind of guy?
Yes.
Yep. that's the best way to put it.
I say that because I usually start with gloves and they end up tearing and breaking. I usually like the Trell or whatever they are. But I do find there's an advantage to them. But in most cases, they just end up getting ripped and torn. You're washing the grease out of your fingernails anyway.
Yep. So my little brother just went to dinner with his wife on her birthday, and so he's just popping in here saying, "What's up?" I saw him call earlier, but I don't know the etiquette. Do I answer the phone while I'm talking to somebody? I don't know. Hey, hold please. Let me talk to my brother. So I'll tell you a funny story about gloves real quick. So there's an auction house here in town, and you can bid online. Well, I thought I was bidding on what would be 2 boxes of 13 mil gloves, large, right? And so I'm like, oh, perfect. No, dude, I get it. It's 26 boxes, and I paid $74 for all of these gloves. And it was 500 count boxes. So I'm like, oh my, or 100 count boxes.
Christmas.
And so, yeah, dude, I was giving them to everybody. Everybody got a box of gloves, everybody. So I'm finally down to the last 2 boxes. Now I'm wishing I had not given them away.
Yeah, there you go.
What's a tool you can't live without?
Oh, a tool I can't live without. I recently bought my first cordless ratchet.
Yeah.
I have, and it's just a cheap, I don't even know what the name brand is. It's just a cheap no-name brand, but I've been wrenching on ratchets forever, and I hate using air in a lot of cases, but anyways, that's my new favorite tool.
That's awesome. So I just text Grant to see if he's going to make it or not, just to try and see how much we need to do. Oh yeah, so Project Adam Ant is the MG that Stephen is referring to here. He was impressed at how sketchy it is. Listen, it is such a short wheelbase. I posted a short the other day of him leaving, and it's like it has 13-inch wheels, so they're like 20. I think they're 24-inch tall tires. It's a 373 gear. It literally will just do burnouts at the drop of a hat. Like it just 4 pounds of boost on this turbo 4-cylinder, and it's just like lights them up. Third gear, doesn't matter. Doesn't care. So Turlo, I don't know. That's what I text Grant to see. At this point, I probably wouldn't think he is. It's already 8:15. What's the biggest hammer you have in the shop?
8 pound.
8 pound, dude, weak. Come on, man. That's a pretty big hammer, though. That's a big hammer.
Yeah.
You're going to do some damage with that one. You're going to do some damage with that one for sure. So I'm trying to see if I got any other notes made down here. I don't think so, dude. What should we tell folks before we get out of here?
I think that if you're not subscribed to Narc Selected Customs, make sure that you are, because his channel's going places. And if you're watching this after the fact, you're going to want to be the guy that says, "I knew that guy when he was a nobody."
Yes, that's the best. That's the best. So Stephen here says, "Dude, here's how this is how he would say this to me, dude. Second gear, sideways, 2 to 3 foot flame, like." Oh man, I wish I had a picture of it here, but literally the exhaust comes out of the turbo. It's probably 20 inches long, and it's facing right at the windshield. So if it shot a flame, which I'm sure it will, we've seen it a bunch, and it's probably like a 6 or 8 inch flame, or he says 2 to 3 foot flame there. I mean, it's probably over the windshield at that point. So you can only imagine being like some dude that his neighbor isn't super into cars. And so you jump in this car that's like the size of a Tic Tac, and then you get in and it just goes insane and shoots a flame out of the, So yeah, that's the kind of shit we're into. We always like that stuff. So I do want to say Turlo's Garage is going to be on tomorrow night for the Quick 16. We will be recording some extra stuff, some extra tidbits after this that we'll be dropping on another site, so I can build some content on there before I release it to the public. I'm gonna leave it at that. So we're gonna talk for a second after this. I have no idea if we can even record after this, or we're gonna have to start a whole new thing. I don't know yet, but we're gonna figure it out. Novataz says he knew you when you were a nobody, so that's perfect.
I'm still a nobody.
What? Dude, you're almost 10,000 subs. Hey, let me ask this, because this will give people hope. How many video views do you have per month?
I don't know. I can check for you right quick.
Turlos says he's gonna have some giveaway stuff tomorrow on the Quick 16. So it may be a Quick 16 plus 3 or something.
Right now it's in the last 28 days, 41,000. Dude,
that's what's up. That's a bunch, man. That's a bunch.
Well, again, we talked about it earlier, and that is contributed to shorts. In the last 28 days, I've had two different shorts that have the one yesterday went to 5,800, and I got one that's over 10,000. So keep doing shorts, because that's what's going to drive views. Yeah. I know that you're on a goal to get 1 million views, and so am I. I'm hoping to do that by the end of the year, but unless I get
that's awesome.
Couple more. If I get one of my YouTube channels to go viral, like that TikTok that I did a couple weeks ago, man, I'm coining her.
Yeah, dude, it'd be awesome. It'd be awesome. Stuff Cletus says he's doing an automotive YouTubers calendar. Dude, I've put together calendars in the past. I'm in. I'm not going to show you the pictures that I put in there, but I'm in. Jason said he's in. He'll lay across the hood of a car. He does not care.
Yeah. You tell me what color Speedo and I'll be in it.
Oh, hey, now I'm not doing Speedos. Nobody wants to see all that hairy butt crack. Turlo says his shorts just fizzle out around 2,200. I like that we're calling them shorts because it's so great. You know what I mean? Because it's like drop your shorts. Oh, I'm loading shorts. I'm watching shorts. Like there's so much that's good with that.
Well, one thing, if I can offer a little bit of advice to Turlo and anybody else that's watching this, is YouTube Creators YouTube channel has a great program. I think it's 4 or 5 videos long on shorts. Go watch it if you haven't already, because it gives you some really good, helpful hints, because you don't know when shorts are going to take off. Most of mine do 300 or 400 views, 500 views maybe. But like I said, if you're not putting them out there, you don't know when one's going to jump on that algorithm and take off.
That's right. What's crazy?
So keep doing.
Do you see this as well? Like it's like normal, straight up, and then flat. Like that's what mine do every time.
Flat again.
Yep. It's like it'll have 1,000 views in 24 minutes, and then it's just like what, and just laid over. I'm like, who turned it off? It was rocking.
And I'm not sure what makes it do that either, because right now I'm looking at the historical event on that one that went to 40 or 5,800. So like in the first 7 hours, it got 90 views.
Yep.
And then from the 7th hour to the 15th hour, so it in double that amount of time, it went to 5,700, and then now it's only gotten a couple hundred views in the last 12 hours. So I don't know why it does that, and it doesn't seem like it ever takes off on the second go round.
Yeah, so I don't know if they're like, okay, we're going to open this up for a window and see, but I don't have the analytics turned on like that for TikTok to where I could get in or I don't look at it if I do have the availability for TikTok. TikTok for us, I literally just throw stuff over there. Like I need to spend more time. We have a good base on TikTok, but it's annoying to me about half of it. I can't spend any time on TikTok because I'm like, oh my God, I need card content. But it's like, I end up with all these, all the dudes doing funny stuff, Ginger Billy and Catfish Cooley. So, I end up watching those dudes for an hour. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go to bed. Oh, I'll pop on TikTok for 4 minutes. And then like, oh shit.
So Junior's about to come through the door, and I think my dog's going to take off barking here, so I'm going to mute myself.
That's awesome. So for everybody that is listening that is not friends with me on Facebook, we're fostering a dog named McGregor. He is amazing. If you are within 3 hours of Northwest Arkansas, I'll bring him to you. The adoption fee, I'll help with some of it. He's a great dog. I posted a post the other day, but he's actually hanging out in the shop. I'm going to flip the camera here real quick. He's been laid over there on my shirt for, I don't know, 45 minutes. And he'll look over at me every now and then like, can we go inside yet? It's cold.
Big dog on a small shirt.
Yeah, dude. It's the only thing I got out here I can put him on. So, I know the concrete's cold and he's laying there. I tried to get him to lay in the seat of the old truck the other night. And he wouldn't do it. So anyways, all right. Well, dude, hour and a half. I appreciate it. If you don't tell everybody bye, we'll cancel. We'll end this one. And then we're going to jump into some 3 or 4 questions from there.
Sure. Sounds good.
All right. Y'all, thank you so much. Again, tomorrow night. Oh, hey, Steven said he did get videos of the flame in the MG, so we'll have that posted tomorrow. I want to say thanks for watching. Tomorrow night, Turlo's Garage on Quick 16. D. Brooks is going to be next week. We have Danny Diesel on for the long format episode next Thursday. And then I've got somebody else that I can't think of right now, and I'm sorry. I know I'll have it when as soon as I hit end broadcast. But thanks, dude. Guys, if you haven't done it yet, Olde Carr Guy on everything, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that stuff. Make sure you go follow him. Later. Bye.